Reads with Amazon. I am Amazon, and I am doing a nice little video for the Mercury Retrograde. This is for all the signs, and the question that I'm going to be asking is, what do we need to be aware of during this Mercury Retrograde? So I want to start with the fire signs first. Of course, lovely Aries, Leo, and Sag. Now this will be for, I'll be reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Mercury. So check those placements. What do fire signs need to be more aware of during this Mercury Retrograde? Using my modern Spellcasters Tarot deck, and I have a couple crystals here with me, like always. So let's see fire signs. Let's start with Aries first. What does Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Mercury need to be aware of during this Mercury Retrograde? Let's see. Okay. Do I want to take all of these? I'll just take them. Okay, yeah, I'm going to take these. Alrighty. A lot of cards came out, Aries. Okay. So the first card that jumped out was the Four of Swords, and this is the card for resting, especially mental rest, right? But Aries, you like to be on go, you like to act, you're ready to move when it's time to move, and sometimes that creates some impatience. Sometimes that can lead to impulsive decisions, and then that leaves you in sticky situations or having to do more work than you wanted to do. So rest is very important during this Mercury retrograde for you, Aries. And with that rest meaning even just taking a couple seconds to think about what you want to do before you go ahead and do it, or think about who else may be involved before you go ahead and do something. Giving yourself that rest, giving yourself that space to just breathe, that space to think really quickly and then make a move. Because in doing so, this will give you more time for yourself and for your just overall celebration with friends. This is being around people that make you feel good as well. See, everyone's having a good time. Surrounding yourself with people who will uplift you and who make you feel like you matter in their life, right? You don't want to be around people who are draining or who don't know how to take a rest, or who are just kind of moving aimlessly, right? You want to be around people that are able to fill your cup up, especially during those moments when it might be hard for you, or you want to be around people who where you stand with them. But I will say though that in the midst of this, we have the Tower here. So there is something that is going to happen, something that you might have been avoiding, something that may have been making you feel uneasy. Whatever it is inevitable, and it's really, the Tower is the card to embrace the change that's about to come your way, because maybe you weren't making the decisions that you needed to make, so now the universe is stepping in like, okay, well, here's what's gonna happen, and you have to roll with that, right? That's what retrogrades kind of bring out during the time that they occur. Like I said, delays, there may be technical difficulties, miscommunications, kind of things that are coming back to the forefront that you thought you resolved. So, this tower coming down is really just the universe stepping in and saying, like, okay, this is what you say you want for yourself, or this is something that needs to be handled and you're not handling it, so now there's no other option but to do this thing. And with the Page of Pentacles in reverse, that may be stopping some opportunities, or you may feel like it, or even that decision may be blocking some opportunities, right? It may be hard for you to see where there is opportunities as well, and I think that's also a part of, again, taking a second to breathe, to think about, what it is that you're trying to accomplish first, and seeing how that can happen before just going into it. And that's why the Knight of Wands in reverse is here too, right? The Knight of Wands, when it comes up upright, is very much emboldened and ready to move, and sometimes almost haphazardly because they're moving too fast. So take the time to be a little bit more patient. I think Mercury retrograde is going to be testing your patience, especially when it comes to the things that you want to get done, right? There might be hiccups, there might be setbacks, there might be things that take longer than you expected. So that's why this Knight of Wands in reverse is here. But the overall energy is the Ace of Swords. So with all of this that may happen, it's going to bring you the clarity that you may have been looking for. It's going to bring you the knowledge and understanding to help you then move forward and grow and achieve the things that you're looking to achieve. Okay, Aries? So take a breather, surround yourself with the things that make you feel good. Make time for those things as well. Aries is a hard worker too, like Virgo. So make sure you're making time for rest as well. Make sure you're making time for community. Make sure that you are not stalling on decisions that you have to make. Make sure that you are you're taking the time to see what it is that you want to do, so that you can continue building, right? With the Page of Pentacles in reverse. Like I said, you might be feeling like it's kind of difficult to find opportunities now, or you might even feel a little iffy with your stability, but take that time. Okay, Aries? All right, Leo, let's see what's in store for you during this Mercury retrograde. What do you need to be aware of? This is for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Mercury. What does Leo need to be aware of during this Mercury retrograde? Okay, let's see. Does Leo need to be aware of during this Mercury retrograde? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Mercury. I feel like Leos are feeling pretty reserved right now. I feel like there's kind of a block. Maybe because you're focusing in on something. Okay. Yeah. But that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. Okay. So, the first card that came out here was the Hermit card. This is a mercurial card. Virgo and Gemini, right? The Hermit comes out when we are withdrawing, when we are turning within, doing some deep digging, and kind of like tuning out any outside noise or distraction. So you might be in this kind of tunnel vision mode right now, Leo. But I will say that with this solitude that you take for yourself, you know, don't allow it to bring you into a dark space. I feel like I just have to say that because sometimes it's easy for Leo to get stuck in certain habits and or even just certain routines, and isolating yourself to the point where, you know, the thought of socializing or reaching out to people now causes you anxiety. That's where it's bringing in, you know, a different type of energy. So definitely take the space that you need. Use these moments of solitude that you create for yourself to heal, to experiment, to explore, and to also put something to rest. We have the Death card here. This is Scorpio's card, so you might have Scorpio placements. You might be dealing with a Scorpio. But it's time for something to end. It's time to lay something to rest. This could even be, you know, letting go of certain habits, letting go of certain ideologies or certain perspectives that are no longer serving you. You know, this is what this journey back into yourself is kind of showing you. You know, what are some things that have been hindering you still? What are some things that are necessary and are helping you with your growth? You know, also helping you understand your relationship with others, and thinking about how your interactions are making you feel, thinking about you know, the way that you receive information, thinking about the way that you communicate with others, and things of that nature. But because there's two major cards here, you know, I feel like this is in regards to something that is pretty prevalent in your life, whether it be, you know, whether it be your work, your health, right? Because Virgo and Gemini are very much about working. Virgo in the sense of, like, you know, your daily activities, service to others, and things like that. And Gemini is more so about, you know, interacting with your communities, sharing ideas, coming together, and creating off of the strength of the mental stimulation that the environment is providing. So it could be something along those lines that you are really starting to understand about yourself. It can be, again, things that are changing about yourself in those realms, and some emotional transformation as well. Like I said, this is Scorpio's card, so there is probably something internal, you know, whether it be from your childhood or from past relationships, something that you might have been holding on to, some emotional habits or just emotions themselves, some triggers that you are ready to release, or that it's time to release and need to come to an end. But I feel like this is in regards to bringing a cycle to a close, bringing a situation to its end, and being able to move forward. Because next we have the King of Pentacles upright, and you know, that's definitely the energy of this prosperity, bringing in this prosperity and abundance for yourself. And that had to happen first, or that happens, excuse me, when you first clear space and you know, realize what you need to do to get into this King of Pentacles energy. You know, the King of Pentacles plans well. You know, their methodologies, that energy is efficient and it's effective, and it's fruitful. And not only is it providing opportunity for yourself, but it's also providing opportunity for those around you. And this abundance that you receive, you end up returning to your community, returning to the universe, returning to the earth. And I think that's really amazing. But I will say that, you know, beware of being impatient with the Seven of Pentacles in reverse here. You know, Earth takes time, and it may take a little time to get into this King of Pentacles energy because of this exploration, and this solitude that you're taking for yourself, and because of the cycles that are ending. You know, you may even just need to mourn some of these things, and that will take a little time. So be patient with yourself. Again, the Seven of Pentacles in reverse here indicates a little impatience, and sometimes Leo, you can forget all that you've done to get you to where you're at right now, because you're so focused on what's happening next and how to get there next, which is totally understandable. You know, we all do that, but like I said, that can cause a little bit of impatience. So whenever you're feeling impatient, whenever you're wondering why something's taking too long, take stock of what you've done already. Think back to, you know, the work that you've put in, and recognize that all of those things took time, and what brought you here now took time. So where you're trying to go will also take time, and that's totally okay. You're not falling behind. You're not where you need to be. Okay? Yeah, because, you know, it's time to kind of drop certain facades if you're holding them up. Also be aware of if other people are holding facades with you and just being realer with folks. You know, doing so also will provide you with opportunity, not just to create, but also to grow on an emotional level, and to also still allow you to connect with other people, right? And not be completely isolated, but you are in control of with whom you want to engage. So just keep those things in mind as we go through this retrograde. I know it can be a little testy, and I feel like patience is definitely going to be tested during this retrograde. Again, being that Gemini is in a good place when it's placed in Mercury. So all the ideas that you might have, all these things that you want to do, I know that might be overwhelming, but it's okay to take the time and sit with yourself, think about which direction you want to go in, what you want to do next, and move forward from there, and allow things to unfold as they come. Okay, Leos? Catch you guys later. Alright, Sagittarius, your last but not least, let's get into your Mercury retrograde reading. Okay? Sag, Gemini is your opposite, so you might be feeling this a little bit heavier than most. Mutable signs in general might be feeling this a little bit more than the others. So let's see. What do Sag, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Mercury need to be aware of during this retrograde? Let's see what comes card wants to come out. Yes. Okay. Okay. Alrighty. So, Sag, like I said, this retrograde might make some of the feels come up, might be a little bit difficult and uncomfortable because Gemini is your opposite. But I will say that there is some good that, of course, there's always some good that comes from a retrograde. And whatever self-imposed limits that you put upon yourself, whatever feelings of stagnation that you had because of your circumstances are being lifted. You are lifting them off of yourself. You are seeing that you can rise above how you're feeling. You are understanding that you can, you had the power this whole time to really shift your perspective, to really recognize that you are not trapped, that you are not stuck by your circumstances, and that you do have the power to change those things, with the Eight of Swords here in reverse. And with death following right after that, I think that is just, an end to that, an end to the self-limiting beliefs, an end to doubting yourself or feeling trapped by your circumstances. But I think it's also a larger or a bigger death of, the idea that that your circumstances are what define you. Whatever it is that you may be going through and wherever you are in your life right now is where you need to be. It may not be where you want to be, but for the things that you want for yourself and for what it is that you're looking to achieve, where you're at right now is where you're supposed to be. And part of that is putting an end to the cycle of doubt, putting an end to maybe even relationships or situations that didn't necessarily make you feel good. And I think that's what we have with the Ace of Cups in reverse here as well. Releasing kind of anything that is toxic as far as emotions go as well. If you're in relationships with people, whether it be platonic, romantic, or familial, and they're just not really doing it for you, your boundaries aren't being respected. You don't feel like you're being heard. You don't feel like you're being valued. It's time to put an end to those and turn that energy back into yourself. That's what I feel with this Ace of Cups in reverse too. Somebody from the past may come back around as well, and it doesn't necessarily have to be romantic, but it could have been a situation that definitely left you feeling empty, and that person, or you may have been that person for somebody else, and now you're trying to see if there's a way to reconcile that, and that's entirely up to you or the other person. And I will say that intention is important here. So whatever role you're playing in this situation, intention is important, because that person will be able to feel it, or you will be able to feel if their intention isn't proper. And again, you have control over how you react to things, so take that into consideration too. Sagittarius, I know, is known for being a little blunt sometimes, and I think this is also saying to remember to be a little bit more compassionate, especially with yourself. But for this person or situation that may roll back around and is looking for potential reconciliation, remember that compassion, and especially with yourself. If you do feel yourself wanting to give another chance, don't beat yourself up if things don't work out again, or don't beat yourself up for wanting to give somebody another chance. As so long as it's not causing you or anyone else any harm, you should be okay. And at the bottom of the deck we have the Seven of Cups in reverse. So this just says to me that things are becoming clearer to you, and that it's time to make a decision if you haven't made a decision about whatever it is that is coming up for you emotionally, and with people that you're connected to, or situations that you're connected to. You have the power to make these choices, and trust yourself to make these choices. Beware of overindulgence. I feel like I have to say that, because sometimes when it comes to making difficult decisions, or when we're in uncomfortable situations, Sag tends to want to escape or numb or kind of just mute that feeling. So I will say, beware of overindulgence, beware of hedonism and just excessive spending, excessive drinking, excessive smoking, and make things clear for yourself so that you can also be clear with other people, and in your intentions and what you need and your boundaries and all of those things, so you're not creating chaos for yourself. Don't connect with people because you're bored either. Okay, that doesn't always end up well, especially if it's a romantic connection, and you don't know what somebody is going to feel or how they're going to react in that respect. So if you feel like you are engaging with someone just because you're bored and they fill a void for you, reevaluate that. Okay? All right, Saggies, I hope that resonates. Fire signs, I hope that this video gave you some good clarity, some messages that you needed. Be aware during this Mercury retrograde of your words. Say what you mean and mean what you say. It's very cliche, but it's really true, and it's very simple. Take the time to think about what you need, how you want to communicate that with others. Think about your relationships with people and how you want them to continue moving forward and stuff. And I will see you guys on the other side.